Good afternoon, nice to see you all again. I'd like to cover off 4 main points today and then open up for some questions at the end of that, which again I will do my best to answer. The first point I want to make is to advise you that this criminal investigation is the largest one ever undertaken by the New Zealand Police in terms of the number of investigators that we have conducting this investigation alongside a number of specialists. We have 250 detectives and specialists right across the country conducting this investigation. And in fact, it is an international investigation with jurisdictions right around the world assisting us with those inquiries. We have on the ground here in New Zealand other law enforcement jurisdictions assisting us. We have the FBI, we have the Australian Federal Police, and of course we have our own partner agencies working with us. The next point I want to make is to be quite definitive. We've spoken about this before, but I want to definitely state that we believe that there was only one attacker responsible for this horrendous event. There were 2 scenes, as you know, and again I would like to state that we believe absolutely there was only one attacker responsible for this. That doesn't mean there weren't possibly other people in support, and that continues to form a very, very important part of our investigation. I also want to say that the threat level in New Zealand remains high, and you will continue to see for weeks to come high vigilance and high visibility from the New Zealand Police and our emergency service partners to ensure that everyone in New Zealand feels safe. The last point I'd like to make is that I want to thank the public for their absolutely overwhelming positive support to members of the New Zealand Police and our emergency service and other partners who have committed themselves to this response and this investigation. It has been absolutely heartwarming, the commentary that we're getting about our people. Myself and the other heads of those organisations could not be more proud of our people who work every day and every night to keep our communities safe. I'll finish as I always do with a message to the public in terms of if you see anything, please say something. Ring the police if you believe it's urgent, ring 111. If it's not urgent, please continue to ensure that you get in touch with us and pass on whatever information you may have. Thank you.
Why are you so sure there's only one attacker?
So we've been working since Friday to confirm that absolute point. I think it's really important to assure the public whether or not there was one or more person's responsibility. So I think the public really need to know that we believe definitively that there was only one person. And as you know, one person has already been before the court charged with murder.
So are you actively investigating other far-right groups and activities?
We have a very comprehensive and wide-reaching investigation involving 250 detectives and specialists. We'll reach into every corner to ensure that there are no further threats, and we do this with our partner agencies and other law enforcement jurisdictions.
How concerned are police by the spike in threatening messages online?
Could you be more specific?
Well, there's been a spike on social media and that sort of thing of threatening messages towards various parts of the community online. Does that concern you?
Threats against our community absolutely concern us. And every one of those that comes to our attention, we are following up. That's why we do need to ensure that we have resources committed to this investigation.
Is police equipped to deal with any increased threats?
Yes, we absolutely are. As I say, we're dedicating our resource to this matter, and I can assure people that whatever arises will be dealt with, will be met. But I can also tell you that I have so many offers of support from other law enforcement jurisdictions, and if I felt the need, I would encourage them to come and join us. But at this point, we have sufficient resources.
Has anyone from the New Zealand
about
Has anyone from the New Zealand Police contacted importers and distributors of firearms, asking them to stop distributing AR-15s or semi-automatic weapons at the moment?
Look, people have volunteered to do that. I'm aware of at least one. We have spoken to them, obviously, but just in terms of just keeping in touch, we have a network of communications across that sector, so we have been talking to them. But they are the ones that are volunteering have done so themselves.
What's your message to them been when you've been talking to them? What have you been discussing?
I'm also aware of the announcement the Prime Minister has made today, so we stand ready if people would like to bring in their firearms and surrender them to us. We're just resourcing that up at the moment, but we stand ready for that.
Can you confirm whether the police received a complaint about Brenton Tarrant before the attack?
I have no information to suggest that we received complaints about the person currently before the court, but we're exploring a number of suggestions so that I can answer that unequivocally.
What does that number of suggestions mean?
So things, actually they're mostly from the media, so like yourself, suggestions that things have occurred. I've seen media commentary. Want to follow up on all of those things?
So were the police warned about far-right activity by the Muslim community before the attack?
Could you say that again?
I said, were the police warned about far-right activity by the Muslim? Did
By
the Muslim community warn police about far-right activity before the attack?
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified
Yeah,
that, because
sure,
that's
yeah.
not quite what you said.
Yeah. Okay.
Look, I'm not aware of specific threats of the nature that you mentioned.
Can you give us any further details around the search warrant which has been executed over Australia in the last few months?
Yes, I'm in communication with the Commissioner of the New South Wales Police and also the Australian Federal Police. They have conducted search warrants in New South Wales. That information has been sent to us and will form part of the investigation. The details of that, it's probably improper for me to share it at this point, but I can say that they haven't discovered any matters that would threaten their public in terms of what they've done on this investigation.
Were those warrants asked? Did the police here ask for those warrants to execute?
They've been done in cooperation. Law enforcement around the world are being very proactive in terms of this.
That increased police presence that you mentioned, is that purely to provide a feeling of safety for the public, or is there are there still security concerns out there? Is that the reason why?
No, good question. It's twofold. The first is to absolutely provide that reassurance, but also as a precaution. We must stand and remain vigilant in terms of any threats that might be out there. So, precautionary and as reassurance.
Are you aware of any threats out there at the moment?
Not directly, no. And we would make sure that we keep the public advised.
In the last 48 hours, we've had a lot of lockdowns, a lot of bomb threats, being called in. Do you have concerns that New Zealanders are sometimes overreacting or could be, overhyped being made?
No. It's great that people are vigilant. Some people might be hyper vigilant. We encourage that. We will respond to anything. So, again, as I say, if you see something, say something. Don't second guess it. If you're worried, call us. We'll be there.
What role is the FBI playing in this investigation?
So they're helping us in a number of specialist areas, of which I don't want to go into at this stage.
Are there any connections to the United States, or are they just lending their
No, they have expertise that they can bring to this inquiry.
As part of that increased police presence, how many of those police are armed who usually wouldn't be armed?
As I think you're aware, all of our frontline police officers have immediate access to firearms. On this occasion, most of those officers will be carrying firearms, particularly Glocks, just again as a precaution.
When you say most, that doesn't all police currently on the streets don't have their Glocks on them. It's just some. Do you know how many?
I can't give you the percentage. Happy to get back to you on that because it is considerable.
Across the country?
Across the country. So they either carrying firearms or have that immediate access to firearms.
We've had different reports around panic buying of firearms. Can you suggest if she hasn't any formal reports? What's your understanding of that at this stage?
No, we're on the same page. So, we've heard it through media. I've read the reports. Again, it's been hard to substantiate that.
And there's also been people on the streets of Christchurch and also some donation pages which have been set up which are a bit questionable, some people scamming people. Do you have a message for people who might be doing that at the moment?
I'm not aware of those, but again, if that's occurring, we'll hold those people to account. It's despicable.
Can I just
One
confirm,
more question,
have
people.
the SIS been relying on the police to provide them with information about far-right activity?
We have a very close working relationship. I couldn't answer your question in any more detail than that.
Have you had
We'll have to leave it there. Sorry.
Can we just check about the number of firearms that have been handed in since the amnesty?
Amnesty?
Well, since
That was announced some minutes ago.
yeah, well, people have been handing in firearms since the weekend, haven't they?
Quite possibly. I don't have that information for you. If you'd like it, we will definitely get it for you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We've got to
Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.